Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can edit these landing pages for the different T categories. Let's see how they're different. These are the areas where I just pulled in some information from Wikipedia. But if you wanted to edit one of these, let's use the green T one as an example. You can go into the administration area, and under CMS, instead of hitting manage pages, these are a little bit different types of content. These are called static blocks. All these page headings here, that all these this section here on each landing page is known as referred to as a static block within Magento. So if I click on static blocks, you'll see a listing, and this just matches up to all the ones you'll see. Like for instance, we're going to change this green tea landing page, which is here. This is a little bit different than from the home page in that this title right here is added automatically based on the category. This is actually just pulling in the category name, so you won't actually be able to change this heading, but you can change this copy and then do some subheadings if you want, which I'm going to show you how to do. So here in the administration, we click on the green tea landing. You'll see how, like I mentioned, there's no heading shown here. But one thing you might want to do, for instance, say if you want to do a subheading of some sort, you could say just do subheading, and similar to how we selected the heading 2 on the when we changed the home page, if you go highlight, I'm gonna make this a subheading, which is be a little bit styled a little bit differently than to text. Go in here and highlight subheading, and instead of heading 2, you can try selecting heading 3. And let's just do it as a for instance, and you will say benefits of green tea. So we'll have that as our subheading, and we'll set that up as a heading 3. So if I were to hit save, and go back to this page, you'll see benefits of green tea right there. Now we haven't put anything in there. One thing you can do, go back to green tea. This is a little bit more complicated, but I think you'll get the hang of it. So you put the cursor there behind, let's do like a bulleted list. To get your bulleted list, you want to come down here and hit this insert remove bulleted list, and I'm just going to put in benefit 1, benefit 2, benefit 3. Hit return, and then to get this, if you're done with your list, you can hit return so you have a new line, and then hit this button again so it'll bring you down to the next line. And then for instance, if I hit save, now if I go back here, we'll have our benefit 1, 2, and 3. Now this is where it gets a little bit complicated. You'll notice there's no bullets as you see here, as there are here. That's kind of because this is interfering somewhat with the default layout of Magento. There's a lot of this is what's known as an unordered list, and there's a lot of those used on the template throughout here. It doesn't really kind of look as obvious, but there's a lot of those tag designations, not only in this area but just in the entire website. And so this is getting impacted by the style sheet for all of those bulleted lists. So what we need to do is designate this as a special type of bulleted list. And what we need to do that is come in here, and if you click your mouse in it somewhere within the bullets and hit this source button, this is actually the HTML code behind what you see here. And this is where you see the UL tag. There's an opening, there's a UL opens right here, and then there's a same tag, but the slash mark means that it's closed. The LI tag designates each benefit. You see it opens there and closes there. So what we need to do though is to tell Magento that this one's a little bit different, so we need to style it a little bit special so it's unique from the other unordered lists throughout the website. So you come in here and find this UL tag, put your cursor there after the L, hit space, and then type in class, lowercase, equals, and then quote, BODY, body. And this matches up to a style sheet I've made that's so that when we save it now, you won't see it here on the front end, but if you'll see UL class equals body, now if we hit save, and if I hit refresh, now you'll see we've got the bullet list back, and I set it up to space it out a little bit better too. So, and another example, that might be a little bit confusing, but I think you can get the hang of it. Just really, it's just a matter of creating your bulleted list with this button. Once you're done with it, go to source and add this little class equals body there behind that tag. Now say if you don't like how this looks, maybe that's a little bit too, stands out a little bit too much, you could change it. Benefits of green tea. Right now, if it's highlighted, you'll see it's selected as a heading 3. If you want to, you can also try a heading 4 and then hit save. And if I go here, you'll see the styling's a little bit different than the red. So it's just kind of a matter of preference. I would, right now, there's really only, if you set this to be a heading 2, then it should match. Let me see. Well, it's a little bit bigger. So you probably just want to use either a heading 3 or a heading 4. I think maybe heading 4 probably looks best in that circumstance. So let me just hit that and hit save. I'm trying to save, continue edit. One thing to keep in mind here is you can also, like you do on the home page, if you wanted to add a picture, let's make a little space, put the cursor there, hit this image button, and browse server, and see. Maybe I'll just try, just as for example, I'll put this picture of this teapot that I've just had in there. Again, select it with your left mouse, right click to bring up this sub menu, hit select, and it'll pull in there. Now what you can do here, since this is a little bit big, this is 400 pixels by 400 pixels, make it a little bit smaller and say 100, and it automatically constrains the proportions. Hit OK, and so it's entered that picture there. And if you want to move it to the right hand side, this is the alignment buttons here. You could do that. It would go over there. Hit save. And come back here. And see, now you have your picture and your benefits of green tea. And just to mention, obviously this is where you would change this text here. This is just from Wikipedia. That just corresponds to this. So you would make the text changes in here.